Floor and also the sides of the feet, maintaining contact. Just take a moment to settle in. Let's go ahead from here. Let's draw that belly button and the spine, starting to engage. And yes, I love seeing it. Right when I say that, everybody gets really bright in the room. That's really nice. So from here, let's place our hands on our knees. We can go palms down or palms facing up, whatever feels best. Let's think about just drawing those shoulders back. Think about your chin parallel with the floor so that the eye level is also parallel with the floor. And then we have this imaginary string pulling us through the crown of our head. So let's just take a moment to slow things down and quiet the mind chatter and find our breath. Let's begin. Think about with each inhale, the body brightening. And with each exhale, the body softening, relaxing, all throughout maintaining the brightness as if we were getting brighter and brighter each successive breath. Let's go for 2 more. We'll open our eyes and the gaze is soft and the gaze is inward. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, we'll take right ear to right shoulder. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. And with each exhale, think about that left shoulder just softening and moving just a bit further away from the left ear. Let's return back to center. We'll inhale. And on the exhale, take left ear to left shoulder. And on the following 2 exhales, we'll feel that right shoulder moving just a bit further away from that right ear. We'll return back to center. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, we'll take our chin down to chest. And on the following 2 exhales, think about the shoulders both now, drawing just a bit further away from the ears. We'll return the head back to center, maintaining our bright seated position. Let's bring our hands to our chest. Think about the engagement in the hands here. So fingertips should be pressing into one another. We'll bring our thumbs to our sternum, maintaining that brightness. Let's inhale. We'll take the hands overhead, extending the side bodies on the exhale. We'll take the thumbs behind the neck. Let's clasp the hands and let's go left elbow up, right elbow down. Try to really sink in with the breath. Allowing the body to follow the breath. From here, let's switch the grip and let's send the right elbow up, left elbow down. Softening on the exhales. Brightening on the inhales. From here, let's cradle the back of our head. We'll do a kind of a lattice in the back of our head. And let's inhale. And on the exhale, let's draw back on those elbows. Maybe we can draw those elbows back to where they escape our peripheral vision. From here, let's open up to the left-hand side. Slight bend in that left elbow. This left hand's completely engaged. The view is off towards this left hand. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, breathe into that left shoulder and simultaneously draw back on your right elbow. Let's turn the hand behind the head. Let's open up to the right hand side. And let's go ahead and inhale. And on the exhale, breathe into that right shoulder and draw back on that left elbow. Turn the hand behind the head. Let's turn the thumbs behind the neck. Let's inhale. Extending the side bodies, and on the exhale, bringing the hands back down to our chest. From here, let's place the hands on our knees. Let's send this left hand out. Really extend as if you're extending the olive branch, and then we'll draw this left hand back in, keeping a nice square chest. We'll do our finger wiggle, and just draw back on the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. We'll draw back on all four. Inhaling. On the exhale, drawing back just a bit more so. Let's send the hand down. Really feeling the magic on the exhale. Let's bring the hands back to center. Let's go to send that right hand out. We'll draw it back in, finger wiggle, and then we'll gently draw back on the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. And let's go ahead and draw back on all four. Let's send the hand down. We'll inhale, and on the exhale, draw back just a bit more so. Let's bring the hands back down to our knees. Let's open up. Open up here. Yes, imagine those strings tied around the middle fingers and someone on each side of us, ripping us a pair apart like a pair of Levi's. From here, let's send the palms up, engaging the biceps. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, allow the shoulders to relax ever so slowly. Turn that left wrist over, left palm to the floor, right palm over the top. Think about the right sitting bones maintaining contact with the floor. In a nice right side body stretch. From here, we'll turn this hand back down. We'll open back up to our open posture pose. We'll go ahead and engage the biceps. We're going to inhale. And on the exhale, breathing into the shoulders. Let's send the wrist over ever so slowly, maintaining bicep engagement. Right palm to the floor, left palm over the top. Think about that left sitting bone or your left hip really maintaining contact with the floor. We're going to lead with this left elbow, bring it in front of the right knee. Let's move right into our sweeps. Let's see if we can maybe even sink the breath. Inhaling on the side body stretch. Exhaling on the sweep. Inhale side body. Exhale sweep. Inhale side body. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, side body. Exhale, sweep. Just warming up the body, helping us prevent any injuries. Let's go 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and we'll bring our hands back to our knees and let's roll to our all fours positioning. We'll look to move our way into our practice. I want to focus on some hips today and ideally some shoulders. So from here, let's think about the wrists directly below the shoulders and the knees directly below the hips. Also, think about these tops of the feet. We don't want them here just static. Maybe we go ahead and start to press those tops of the feet to the ground, really engaging every muscle we can. From here, let's inhale. And let's start to roll the back, bringing that belly button into the spine, moving into our cat pose. Think about the torso here. The arms and hands should be pushing the torso away. The head should be falling right in between the arms here. And we're really drawing that belly button into the spine at the peak of our cat pose. Let's go ahead and move into our exhale. And just relax. It's cow pose. Now inhale to our cat pose. Exhale to cow. Inhale to cat. Exhale to cow. Feel free on the cat pose, inhaling. Maybe even rise up a little bit onto the tops of the feet if you need a little bit more. Let's go 3 more. Last one. Let's return back to our all fours positioning, looking for that neutral spine. From here, let's send the right leg back. Think about the hips are still square. square, so take a moment. The feet can be facing towards the ground or in a lace kick position. Personally, I like the lace kick position. Let's send that left arm out. Let's extend as far as we can. We'll inhale. And on the exhale, let's switch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, 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 switch. Let's go 2 more. Last one. From here, let's place the hands back into the mat, returning back to our all fours positioning. Let's think about sending those knees back 2 to 3 inches. Let's tuck the toes and let's push our way into the first downward facing dog of the day. Let's walk it out just a little bit. So bend that right knee and really send that left heel back. That's going to bend the right or the left knee now and send the right heel back. Feel just a little tight, so we'll just walk it out. Let's go 2 more walks and then we'll try to move right into our downward facing dog. So take a moment to align and let's think about really driving those thumbs into the floor. Inhale, sending those sitting bones as high as they'll go. Really extending the arms, and on the exhale, relaxing, breathing into the shoulders. From here, let's hinge forward into our plank pose. Let's activate the toes. So let's make sure that they're activated. We're propelling ourselves forward. From here, we're going to place that left hand at the midpoint of our initial hand placement. Let's roll to our left hand side. I'm going to go with the feet stacked. Feel free to have them staggered. Think about this left hip. It is lifted off the ground. Let's go ahead and let's go into our side plank. Think about the fingertips that are driving into the floor. From here, let's go ahead and send that right leg up. We want to go a little further. We're going to bring this right leg down. Right hand back down. Let's transition back to our plank pose. Use the feet, propel yourselves forward. Let's go to our micro bend in the elbows. Come down to our low push-up. Draw the elbows in tight. Tops of the feet to the floor. Up facing dog. Let's tuck the toes and let's push our way back to downward facing dog. Inhaling. Sending those sitting bones as high as they'll go, and on the exhale, breathing into the shoulders. Let's go ahead and let's hinge forward again, back into plank pose. Right hand at the middle, at the midpoint of our initial hand placement. Let's go and stack the feet for our side plank. Let's think about inhaling, and on the exhale, we'll open up to the left hand side. If we want to go further, let's lift that left leg. Forward and drop the left leg. Let's bring down that left hand. Let's transition back to our plank pose. Activate the toes, micro bend in the elbows. Low push-up, elbows drawn in tight. Tops of the feet to the floor. Up facing dog. Let's tuck the toes. Push our way back to downward facing dog. Inhaling. Sending those sitting bones as high as they'll go, and on the exhale, breathing into the shoulders, allowing us to fall into this upside down V. From here, let's see if we can take the left hand off the mat, 3-legged downward dog. Let's grab the outside of that right ankle into our revolved downward facing dog. The view is through this right armpit cavity. Remember to breathe. Let's go, let's send this left hand back down. Hinge forward. Let's come down to our low push-up. Elbows drawn in tight, tops of the feet to the mat. Up facing dog. Let's tuck the toes. We'll push our way back to downward facing dog. Inhaling. Sending the sitting bones as high as they'll go, and on the exhale, breathing into the shoulders. Let's go into our 3-legged downward dog on the opposite side. Right hand to the outside of that left ankle. The view is now through the left armpit cavity towards the ceiling. Really make the grab here. Think about each exhale, this pose getting just a bit easier. Let's return the right hand back to this position. Hinge forward. Activate the toes. Micro bend in the elbows. Low push-up. elbows drawn in tight. Tops of the feet to the mat. Up facing dog. Let's tuck the toes and let's push our way back into downward facing dog. Inhaling. Pushing those sitting bones as high as they'll go on the exhale. Breathing into the shoulders. Let's come down to the knees. Let's flare the knees out to the edges of the mat. Big toes come together. Let's push our way back into our child's pose. This will be our active recovery. So really think about getting these sitting bones back. Let's drive the thumbs into the ground. Maybe we can get the forehead to the mat. And if we're here thinking about the elbows are lifted off of the mat as well as the palms, giving you a nice deep shoulder stretch. From here, let's place the right hand, palm facing up in front of that right knee, and let's send it all the way through, right underneath this left armpit cavity, all the way through. And let's really, before we draw back, press this arm, this right arm into the floor. Right hand's activated. Draw back on that left hand. Let's take a glance toward the sky. We'll inhale. And on the exhale, we'll open up to the left hand side. If we want to go further, we can send that hand towards the back of the room. And let's go for our first bind of the day, grabbing the upper inner right thigh. Think about this left shoulder. Each exhale should be opening up just a bit more so. Let's release the bind. Let's send the hand back up. Untwist the wrist. Left hand back down to its placement. Ever so slowly, let's unthread this needle. Placing that right hand on the right knee, taking a glance over towards our right hand side. You should be feeling a sensation of a deep side body stretch on this left hand side. Let's return the right hand back to its position. Let's re-engage here. Drive those thumbs into the mat. Let's push the sitting bones back. We'll inhale. And on the exhale, forehead to the floor. Let's lift the elbows and the palms off of the floor. Getting a deep shoulder stretch here in our child's pose. From here, let's send that left hand, palm facing up in front of the left knee. And let's go ahead and send it all the way underneath the right armpit cavity, threading the needle. Before we do any further, really press this left arm into the floor. Left hand is engaged. Let's draw back on the right hand. Take a glance towards the right hand side. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, we'll open up to the right hand side. Both arms and hands are engaged. To go further, we can send that hand towards the back of the room. And we can go for the bind on the opposite side, this time grabbing the upper inner left thigh. Now take a glance at this right shoulder with each exhale. See if you can draw it just a bit more open. Let's release our bind. Let's send that hand back up. Untwist the wrist. Right hand back down to its initial child's pose placement. Let's slowly but surely unthread this left hand. Let's place the left hand on that left knee. And let's take a glance towards our left hand side. This time getting that deep side body stretch on the right hand side. That right hand is totally engaged at this point. Fingertips clawing into the floor. Let's go ahead and let's return this left hand back to the mat. Let's do a reset here, driving the thumbs into the floor, pushing those sitting bones back. Let's get the hand in our plank pose positioning. We're gonna go ahead and carve a line right now with our nose, and we're gonna go all the way through to up dog. So now imagine your nose carving a line all the way through, back to our up facing dog. Let's tuck the toes and let's push our way back into downward facing dog. Inhaling. Sending those sitting bones as high as they'll go on the exhale. Allowing the shoulders to relax. Let's bend the right knee. Let's send this right leg back. Bend that right knee to right elbow. And then let's fire all the way back. Bend that right knee to left elbow. And then let's fire all the way back. Bend that right knee. Let's bring that right knee to the chest. Let's pinch it, hold it. And then we'll fire it all the way back. We're going to bend that right knee. We're going to take the right knee to the right elbow. And we're going to pivot that right foot in. And we're going to sink right into our pigeon pose. Take a moment Take a moment just to relax here, to get yourself in here. Let's start to walk down to the forearms. We'll walk our way down to the forearms. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Think about the exhales here. We know how to breathe into our shoulders. We know how to breathe into the neck. Let's see if we can breathe into the hips. So that sensation is kind of like a melting sensation. Let's see if we can maybe walk these hands up just a bit further. And maybe we can have that same kind of situation to where we're using the thumbs to push the sitting bones back. This is our pigeon pose. Let's do one more breath. And let's walk the hands back to our forearms. Let's place the hands back down and let's walk the hand. Use the right hand as your guide. Right hand's going to go to the outside of that right knee. Line up that left hand on the opposite side. And let's create ourselves a nice base here. So we should be feeling as if we can lift. Remember, we're trying to bring our pull upper body away from low body. Feel free to roll your mat over if you need a little more support. From here, let's place the right hand in front of that right knee. Let's bend at this left knee. Let's grab the outside of this left foot. So let's all get to here. Now think about this. There's 2 ways to really go about this. We can just simply have this left foot kind of in the right hand or in the left hand. But what we really want to do is we want to start kicking. We're almost driving this left foot back towards the mat, getting a deep shoulder stretch here on the left hand side. Once you feel that isometric stretch, that balance, maybe we can lift this right hand. Find a fixed point. Stay bright. Let's go ahead and slowly release. Let's bring this left foot back down slowly. Right hand back to our plank pose positioning. Let's get ready to activate. We're going to activate those left toes. Lift. Send the right leg back. Let's go ahead and hinge forward with the toes. Let's micro bend the elbows. Come down to our low push-up. Draw the elbows in tight. Tops of the feet to the mat. Up facing dog. Really allow those hips to sink towards the floor. Let's go ahead and let's tuck the toes. Let's push our way back to downward facing dog. Inhaling. Sending those sitting bones as high as they're going on the exhale. Breathing into the shoulders. From here, let's bend that left knee. Let's send this left leg back. Bend that left knee. Left knee to left elbow. And then let's fire it all the way back. Bend that left knee to right elbow. And then let's fire it all the way back. Bend that left knee to the chest. Pinch it, hold it, and let's fire it all the way back. Bend that left knee to left elbow, pivot in. Let's sink into our pigeon pose on the opposite side. Take a moment to get comfortable. Let's see if we can walk the hands down to the forearms. This is a great place to be. This is one of these poses you can sit in for an extended amount of time. But let's really concentrate on these next 3 exhales and kind of melting into this pigeon pose. So we'll inhale. And on the exhale, melting. If we want to go further, we can start to send these hands out further. And again, I'm using those thumbs and the hand to push my sitting bones back as well, but I'm still melting into this pigeon pose. Let's use the hands to walk back down, or back to our forearms. From here, let's walk the hand back to our hands. Let's see if we can place this left hand on the outside of that right knee. And let's get just like a nice bright posture, just so we know what it feels like. Think about driving or pulling upper body away from low body. Let's now place the left hand in front of that left knee. Let's bend at the right knee. And let's grab the outside of this right foot. We're going to grab the outside of that right foot. And now think about the isometric stretch here. So there's more than just this foot sitting right here. I am now kicking the right foot towards the ground. And I am putting an equal amount of force with my right arm there. getting the balance, and then I'll send the left hand up. Let's go ahead and bring that left hand back down. Let's gently release this right hand. Let's walk our way back. I'll put the hands back into our plank pose positioning. From here, let's tuck the toes. And let's go ahead and let's move back to our plank pose. Let's activate all 10 toes here, pushing our way forward. Let's come to our micro bend in the elbows. Low push up, draw those elbows in tight, tops of the feet to the floor. Up facing dog. Let's tuck the toes and let's push our way back into downward facing dog. Inhaling. And then on the exhale, breathing into the shoulders. From here, let's go ahead and let's bend at the knees. And on the exhale, we're going to jump in a cat-like fashion between the hands. Let's stay here, knees bent. From here, let's start to straighten the knees out. Hands come to the shins. Place the weight to the balls of your feet. Think about the neck as an extension of the spine, so the glance is down towards the floor. From here, we're going to bend at the knees, hands towards the mat. Let's go and send the hands towards the back of the room. And on the inhale, moving right into our chair pose. Take a glance down, make sure you can see your toes. If you cannot, please adjust. From here, hands together, hands to chest. Left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, we'll open up to the right hand side. Following 2 exhales. Let's see if we can sink into that chair pose just a bit more. Let's go hands back together. Hands to center. Hands towards the back of the room. And on the inhale, sinking back into our chair pose. Let's bring the hands together. Hands to chest, right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Sink into your spinal twist. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, opening up to the left hand side. The next 2 exhales, let's sink even further. From here, let's bring the hands back together. Hands back to center. Hands towards the back of the room. And on the inhale, sinking into our chair pose. There should be fire in the legs. Let's exhale all the way down to boat. Let's get to our boat pose. See how straight we can get the legs. Let's get the hands behind the knees. Let's get nice and bright in the chest. From here, let's put the hands to the sides. And let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Use your heels to push you back onto the mat. Let's take a moment here. Go ahead and hug in at the shins. And let's do our low back massage, focusing on that sacrum. From here, let's hug in at the shins. Hugging in at the shins, activating the legs, activating the feet. It's almost as if we're in a cannonball pose about to jump into the pool. Let's open up the arms back to our open posture pose. From here, let's inhale. And on the exhale, ever so slowly, let's send the knees to the left-hand side. The glance is off towards the right, away from the knees. Each exhale, see if you can send the breath to that right shoulder and help it reestablish contact with the mat if it has jumped off the floor. To go a little further, we can straighten out that right leg and perhaps the right foot falls right into that left hand. If you are there, you do the slightest calf raise into that left hand. While simultaneously drawing back on that right foot. Again, practicing the isometric stretch. Let's retract this right leg. Let's bring the knees back to center. Let's hug in at the shins, doing our low back massage. Let's start to draw those knees towards the chest, engage the feet. Let's open back up to our open posture pose. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, in a controlled fashion, we'll send the knees to the right hand side. The glance is off towards the left. We'll use the exhales to help that left shoulder reestablish contact with the mat if it is in fact jumped off the floor. To go a little further, we can straighten out this right leg and left leg, and perhaps the left foot falls right into the right hand. If that is the case, do the slightest calf raise on this side. And then we'll retract that left leg. We'll bring the knees back to center. We'll hug in at the shins here. We've got time, so let's bring the feet down to the mat. Bottom of the feet down to the mat. Let's get ready to move into our bridge pose. Let's think about the arms. They don't need to be really tight onto the body, but let's just have them to the sides of the body, palms facing down. Let's draw back on the feet so that the heels just barely touch the back of our heels. So our index fingers are just barely touching those heels. That kind of tells us about we have the correct alignment. Now think about the feet. The feet, we don't want them flared out. We don't want them flared in. Ideally, we have them in our kind of neutral spine positioning. Our shoulder width, our hip width apart from one another. From here, let's press those palms into the floor. Let's lift at the hips. Lifting the hips here. Think about just getting those hips as high as you can. The heels are, to a certain degree, they are drawing back towards the midline. The heels are drawing towards your waist. From here, let's clasp the hands behind the back and let's start to shimmy onto the left shoulder, onto the right shoulder, onto the left, onto the right, maybe back onto the left to adjust and get it all square. We've now elevated the heart off the floor and we are now in our bona fide bridge pose here. Keep those hips lifted. Let's go into our lace kicks, but think about each kick, we want to maintain that same hip elevation. So we're going to kick with the left, and on the exhale, we'll switch. Inhale, kick, exhale, switch. Inhale, kick, exhale, switch. Inhale, kick, exhale, switch. Feel free to move at your own breath. Let's go 2 more. Let's plant the feet. Let's see if we can send those hips up just a little bit more. Let's go ahead and unclasp the hands behind the back. Let's allow the shoulders to shimmy down and let's drop vertebrae by vertebrae from the neck to our low spine. And once the low spine has reconnected with the ground, let's go in for one last low back massage here. Let's get ready to launch into our shoulder stand. And then we do one pose just in between. Let's do our happy baby pose. Let's put the hands together in our prayer position. We'll swim move right between the knees. We'll grab the outsides of the feet. Think about the feet as holding a platter. So you want them parallel with the ceiling. And let's inhale. And on the exhale, start to pull those feet in as if you're drawing those knees into the armpit cavities. From here, we'll go ahead and we'll bring the knees back together. Let's place the hands to the sides and let's get into our pre-shoulder stand launch. So we'll go ahead and roll to where we can get the hands adjusted on that low back. We've created ourselves a new base here with the elbows, the back of the head, and the shoulders. And let's see if we can start to straighten the body out. Moving in to our shoulder stand. From here, let's go into our standing splits for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll go all the way over into our plow pose. From here, let's clasp the hands behind the back, and maybe we can move into our bona fide plow pose. Remember to breathe. And if you are here, see if you can smile. Let's unclasp the hands. Let's return the hands back to the sacrum. Let's return back to our shoulders down. We'll bend the knees and we'll roll right into our corpse pose. Let's take a moment here. So throughout the class we talked about engagement, we talked about the body, pulling upper body away from low body. This is really our opportunity to just let go. But we're going to still try to maintain that connectivity to our breath. But let's maybe start off really focusing on the hips and on the shoulders. Let's make sure so those that are equally distributed on the mat. One side is not favoring another. Start with the feet. Think about the feet. They are flaring open to the sides, just opening naturally. Become aware of the contact points that your legs are making to the floor and the connection with the hips to the floor. Let's have the hands, palms facing up. I personally don't feel confined by the mat, so I have my hands off the sides. And then think about the connection at the back of the head is also making to the floor. So Shavasana, this represents the relaxation portion of our class. And in this particular portion of our practice, this is where we have two opportunities. One is an opportunity for us to allow ourselves to surrender to gravity even more so. Ideally establishing more contact points with the floor as the body begins to soften. But two, Shavasana represents an opportunity for us to let go of any negative thoughts that are hindering our daily lives. So as we begin to enter into Shavasana, perhaps we look to our third eye, which is found between our eyebrows. We place our attention there. And we come into this knowing that the magic happens on the exhales. The body softens on the exhales, and we let go of things on the exhale, as the exhale serves as the body's natural release. Let's begin. Let's slowly start to bring some awareness back to the bodies by wiggling our toes, moving our fingers, moving our eyebrows in the space between our brows. Let's gently bring the feet to the mat as if we're about to move into bridge pose. And on the exhale, let's roll to our right hand side, cradling our head with our right hand and placing that left hand on the right bicep. Let's stay here for 2 breaths. point in time. You're feeling some decompression in your low spine and just better overall. Let's place that left hand below the right tricep and let's push our way back to our seated position, attempting to use our legs as minimally as possible. We'll return here to our seated position where we begin and end each of our practices. And with that, I tell you all namaste, which means that I honor you all and I thank you very, very much for sharing your practice with me.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.